capes and conundrums. 2 number 9s, a number 9 large, a number 6 with extra dip, a number 7, 2 number 45s, 1 with cheese, and a large soda, Robin says, before covering the communicator again. You sure you don't want anything? That's not for all of us and leftovers, Moretta demands in shock. Have you seen all the calorie counts on those? It's barely enough for me alone, Robin says, and Albin snorts. It's a bit of involuntary amusement. But it's a good step to untangling whatever clusterfuck he's landed hip-deep in. Are either of you hungry? He asks them both. There's a bit of waffling at that point. Moretta doesn't want to seem demanding, and Albin is revving up the teen mood again, so he wouldn't even admit to being hurt if he was shot at this point. Robin turns back to the phone. Could you double that all? I'm trying to feed people and everyone's being cagey about what they want. Are you a Lidris? Human. Oh, so those stories are true. Okay. It'll be there in, do you want this dropped off at a specific address? Or to home in on your communicator via drone? Drone, please. Half an hour at most. Unless you leave the city and lead my drone on a merry chase around the planet. In that case, it arrives when you stop being an idiot. Good to know. Thank you. Thank you for your custom, Mr. Human. The credits have already been deducted from your account. Have a good day and enjoy your meals. Have a good day, he bids the operator and hangs up the call. So you're getting some food out of it, kid. Is that bribe enough to get you to talk? And of course that joke was the exact wrong thing to say. Because teenager. The sulking goes from a 3 to a 15 on a 10-point scale, and Robin can hear the Linkin Park playing as the boy crosses his arms, glares into the distance, and hunches in on himself. The fact he's sulking while sitting on the back of Moretta's truck for lack of a better place to sit really detracted from the scene. Although the background of ash dunes and the distant obsidian wall of the massive cave that the city sits in does add to it. So there the boy sits, having decided to just clam up and glare. If a recruit acted like this, he would be getting all the hell from the drill sergeants, and then shortly after the rest of the squadron would join in for dragging them back. But this is a civilian instead. A civilian alien teenager, no less. Robin lets out a huff after a few minutes of waiting for the kid to speak. Who is your daddy and what does he do? What? Albin asks as the tone in Robin's voice suggested it was a joke, but the words had made it a serious question. The sheer dissonance has him confused a bit. Who is your daddy and what does he do? Robin asks with a bit of the accent. What are you doing? Who is your daddy and what does he do? Robin asks again, and Albin groans. He's a house father, all right. Geez. And why are you so angry with him? What did he do? Robin asks. He got Beaky killed, Albin shouts before clamming up and going back to sulk. And who is Beaky? Robin asks, and Albin clams up further. Moretta huffs a sigh and motions for Robin to step away from the truck with her. He follows, and he crouches down to her level. This really is weird. Someone's son should be so well cared for that if he was this upset at home, he'd be locked up in the safest and most comfortable room they have with at least 3 doctors in there. I know it's not adding up, that's why I'm trying to figure it out. If the kid's father did something to hurt him, then his mother and other mothers should have swept in to cover for it. Unless he's been sneaking out. But I've been looking up missing person alerts, and there's nothing about this kid. Moretta states, and Robin sighs. More and more confusing. Unless he's got a history of going off on his own and they have no reason to think he's in danger. On a planet so volcanically active that its capital has a 5-layer thick blast shield that could survive a planetary detonation, he says. I can hear you both, Albin calls over to them. Then maybe you can tell us more. Who's Beaky? What did your daddy do to get them killed and other such details? Robin asks, and the sulk returns. That's a no. The sulking continues for a bit until Robin gets a text that tells him the food was ready earlier than expected, and the drone's on the way. So, I hope you both are hungry because deep-fried foods don't taste anywhere near as good reheated, Robin remarks. I've never had any, Albin says. So, food is a safe subject? That's good. Why not? Robin prods, and it seems like Albin is sulking again. Whoever or whatever Beaky is, it's clearly something tied to it. It's usually roasted or flame-kissed. Grilling is popular too, Albin says, and Robin lets out a pensive noise. Well, deep frying is usually a treat, but some people can screw it up pretty badly. Want to see if Avianatics did? Isn't that a fast food chain that specializes in bird flesh? Albin asks. Yes. Sure, why not? Deep-fried bird. Feh! Albin goes into an even deeper sulk, and Robin mentally slots Beaky, whatever it is, as a bird. Likely a pet that the boy's father somehow got killed, which is a damn good reason to be pissed off and sulky. The drone that flies over is a boxy thing that swoops through the sky right towards Robin and opens up to reveal several paper bags with the white and yellow logo of Avianatics. He unloads the food and quickly grabs the first of the mini burgers. His order may have been long, but the fact that he was more or less ordering individual chicken strips with a tiny bit of bread and sauce on them with 3 to 4 fries for the side said about everything that needed to be said about that. The large version had nearly 10 fries. Thank God it was all dirt cheap. Otherwise, he'd have just seen if he could twist someone's arm back at base to bring him something worth eating from the mess hall. Albin has half of one, and so does Moretta. Though Albin spends his time just sort of sniffing at the meat, as if considering. So, Robin begins. Correct me if I'm wrong, but from what I can understand of your situation, it's that you're very upset with your family for a very good reason. Albin says nothing, but he's defensive again. To put it good and quick, you had a pet. Beaky, meaning likely a bird of some kind, and your father got it killed, recently no less. So you came out here to sort your head on straight and ran into our bit of craziness. Yes. You also couldn't find peace of mind in the city, so you came back out either hoping for us to be gone, or for a place you could just sit and cope with the loss, right? Right. Sorry for screwing up your grieving kid. How close am I? He didn't directly kill Beaky, but he doesn't care. No one cares that Beaky is dead. He was an amazing and well-trained Thoroso wing. A juvenile, too. In 5 years, I could have ridden Beaky. They would have been proof that I could do it. That an animal tamer in a family full of hunters has a place. But no. They heard that I taught Beaky to swoop near targets and distract them, and they dragged my little Thoroso onto their stupid hunting trip, and he got killed. Was your father leading it? No, but he's the one that let it all happen. I wanted Beaky away from it. It's too hot here past the shields for him. It was at any rate. But my sisters. Oh no, Robin says, as even more clicks in place. The daddy issue is that daddy forced him to share when he was afraid his pet would get killed. And that's exactly what happened. So he hates his sisters for killing his pet and hates his father for using his authority and allowing it to happen. Fuck. Damn, let me guess. Robin says after a moment. Your family doesn't care for the fact you'd rather tame a beast than shoot one, so their reactions are basically good riddance. Yeah, Albin confirms, and Robin groans in frustration. Yeah, Robin remarks. You have every reason to be angry, and don't let anyone say anything else to you. What? Albin asks. Whatever he was expecting, it wasn't that. Situation sucks. You've been screwed over pretty damn hard by the last people who should do that. Life sucks. Take the time to deal with it, and then get back to living. Robin says, and Albin stares at him. What? That's it? Yes. Mourn your loss, vent your rage, and get started on the next thing. Life doesn't stop just because you feel like shit. All pain fades, and you have to keep living. Life isn't fair, and will never be fair. The trick is learning how to make it unfair for you, Robin says. As in, unfair in your favor. It's easier if you're willing to deal with the fallout. Fallout? The side effects of something. For instance, you could literally bring in the police to help you even the score with your sisters. After all, Beaky was your property, wasn't he? They got him killed, they destroyed your property. That's a crime. If your father forced, then that's aiding and abetting. Also a crime. Now, bringing the law against your family is the kind of thing that burns down bridges hard and fast. But it can leave one hell of a statement. Burn down bridges? Albin asks, with a very interested look on his face. To destroy your path, reputation, connections, opportunities. Basically, bridges connect things. Burning a bridge is destroying that connection. So you can retaliate, and retaliate hard against your family for what they did. But it's not something that you can take back. So you're saying that them taking and killing my pet was a crime, and I should call the police on them for it? Albin asks, and looks confused when Robin shakes his head. I think that you should think about it. Think about all the ways the situation can end. Worst case scenario, you might be thrown out of the home or cause a schism in the family. Could you handle going from the black sheep to the ignored child? Could you handle leaving the family behind entirely? Or breaking it apart as people start taking sides? Robin explains. You're talking like I have a bomb I can set off. You basically do. They hurt you, and committed crimes while doing so. They've given you a huge amount to work with if you're willing to use it, Robin says. And Moretta outright laughs. Yeah! That sounds hilarious! You should do it! She cheers. Only if you're willing to accept all the consequences. If things are bad now, how much worse will they get when they're convinced you're an enemy and have what constitutes as proof in their mind? Robin warns him. I didn't even want to come to Skathak. I wanted to stay home and work with Beaky, Albin mutters. Think he could get them on kidnapping for that? Moretta asks, and Robin considers. Not likely. He's underage, and they're his legal guardians. It would be hard enough for him to get them on the theft and destruction of property. I don't think that cruelty to animals would work in a place such as this, as it's a hunting outpost, so laws in that area are likely far more lax. What are you, a lawyer? At times, although I'm a contract lawyer. You need a personal injury, and possibly a family lawyer as well. Robin explains, and Albin blinks. Why are there so many different kinds of lawyers? Because law is complicated, and it's practically impossible to know all of them enough to be effective. Someone who tries to know about all kinds of laws is generally useless at actual legal work for any of them. You need to specialize. Robin's secondary communicator goes off, and he checks it. It looks like you're about to get your chance, kid. We're 5 minutes out from a couple of doctors arriving. Doctors? I had a child crying against me. You can bet that I called for medical professionals. Robin answers.